What's going on, dudes and chicks? Thanks for joining me again in the good old garage. The hot garage. It's a hot box in here for sure. Wow. Lose 20 pounds in about an hour sitting in this thing. But I haven't done a good old review in, golly, man. How long has it been? Yeah, so it's time. Can't even remember when. So, you saw on the title already that I'm going to review the Gerber Steady. It's in this thing. Alright, first impressions here. But before I get there, picked this up at Academy. It was actually on sale. When I initially saw one of these things, it was for 50 bucks. Got this one on sale for 20. Tell you about that later. Anyway, the Gerber Steady in this little sheath, which it's your standard old neoprene with nylon. Seems to be fairly decent quality, but yeah, you know, elastic, you know, that's going to rot. It's not going to be worth the crap after a while, but this is a pretty good idea. I like the belt loop back here. So there's Velcro. You can completely separate it. You can put it on your belt without having to take your belt off. Gerber was using their brain. Alright, so the Gerber Steady. This is geared towards the folks like you and me that get outside. Well, I haven't been outside much lately, but anyway, like more or less you guys. They get out there, you got your camera and you're doing videos, plus you got the whole outdoorsy thing going on. So they decide, well, we'll make a multi-tool for these people. Cool. Seemed like a pretty good idea. So let's just open it up. There you have it. You have needle nose pliers with wire cutters. It's not spring action, no spring, so it's just going to actually stay closed. So it doesn't really fall in line with the suspension or anything like that. That's pretty much the only thing on the inside of it. So let's close it back up. Here on the outside, this is plastic and rubber construction. Of course, all the tools are metal, but the outside is plastic and rubber. Alright, let's just ponder that for a minute. First thing I want to show you in here is the knife. Here's your knife. You have partial serration and you have the fine edge. Seems to be pretty dadgum sharp. Yeah, whatever. I was going to get a piece of paper, but you know, take my word for it. It's sharp. There's a smaller blade in here, just a fine edge. Close these. Down there, it's kind of hard to get to, but there's a little Phillips head screwdriver. Pretty cool. Got a little tiny flathead or slot, whatever you want to call it. And over here is the standard size flathead screwdriver with bottle opener built into it. And the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. And this thing is hard to get to. There it is. There it is, right there. See that little thing? Lets you screw on your camera. I'll demonstrate that here in just a minute. And inside the sheath comes an adapter for like your cell phone or something like that. There's a little suction cup with a latch to make it suck on there. You just screw that on there and then you can stick your phone on here. And I'll give you a little demo on that. What do you say we go demo that? Oh yeah, and forgot little cute little legs that pop out. Yeah. So let's go have a look at it. Huh? Alrighty, so here's the big bad Gerber Steady. That's what it's supposed to do. Right there. Darn it. There it is. There it is. There it is. But that's what it's supposed to do. It's kind of like a little tripod. Let me get my phone out. A little suction cup thing. I have the iPhone 4S, so it's glass front and back, and I'm just going to stick it on the front here with the lens facing up. Well, there we go. And I'll flip the little lever up in the back and it locks down. So it's all nice and stuck on there. It seems to have a pretty good pull. I really can't seem to get that off, so that's pretty good. Here's my first impression though. This is a pretty nifty little setup. I'm kind of digging that a little bit. This is about the furthest range of motion you're going to get. So you have an angle from here to about here. So, well, you can't really see that. So on my lens I have an angle from about here down this way. So if I use this little stick, there's my, well, you can't even see that. Let me get something else. Yeah, good old trusty bayonet. Look at that. There is my angle. Right there. It's about as far down as I can actually tilt that. Facing this way. Here's the other big issue. I turn it around. Say I want to, no, that unscrewed it a little bit. Say I want to take it this way and really get it angled down. Well, if you turn the thing this way, you pretty well have to tilt it either straight up or back the other direction, because if you go forward this way, it just slowly starts to fall over, and that's kind of iffy. They say no more than about 4 pounds on this thing, so I'd say generally this is probably more or less for cell phone use only. Get my phone off of there. Now I'm going to put this camera on there and show you what it does. So here's my normal camera that I normally use on here. And you can see, let me just flip that thing around. There we go. But as you can see here, if you get it perfectly balanced, it seems to be okay. So you pretty well have just a first straight shot on that. If I try to tilt it, that's as far as I can go if I do it that way, which is okay. My angle of view is about like that. So we're all right there. Now, however, I go turn this thing around, it's going to fall over, and the first thing I noticed when I put this camera on here is it just flopped and wobbled all over the place. So trying to keep this thing steady, no bueno for a camera like that. You're pretty well stuck with cell phones on there. It might work in a pinch, but that's going to be about it. So there you are. And you can see under here, I get it to focus right there. Just screws into the bottom. Out. And we tilt. So that really is the Gerber Steady. Yeah, I think Steady may be kind of reaching for a name. Why don't they just call it like Gerber camera mount, sort of, or Gerber camera mount. We tried. All right. Well, the thoughts on here. Suction cup is a good idea. The whole thing really is a good idea. I think it is. However, show you some of the quality on this. Take the knife blade, the main knife blade. Remember to ponder that. This is all plastic and rubber. Watch this. Oh yeah, look at that play in that knife blade. I don't know if you're going to be able to see a good close up. There it is. Yeah, it just plays like crazy. And actually right there, when you go to snap it down, it really wants to come out to the side. Oh wow, yeah, you couldn't even see that. But yeah, when you go to snap that blade down, it really wants to come out to the side there. So then you have to be careful putting that in there. There is the small blade. It does the exact same thing. I mean, I wouldn't use this knife for anything other than cutting paracord or bank line. That right there, the very core of this has steel up inside here, so the inner pieces seem to be pretty stable. That moves a little bit, but that's just normal play. This thing, there is no way to adjust that to clamp that down any further. That's what you get. That's all there is to it. These doesn't look like you'll do a lot of torquing with those, but they do have quite a bit of play. I'm going to just flat out say here that I am so glad I got this thing on sale, because if I would have paid 50 bucks for that and got it home, I probably would have been pissed. I mean, the thing doesn't even close correctly. It's higher on this side, and I flip it over, you can see it's just kind of wonky. So yeah, honestly, 50 bucks, I probably would have been a little pissed after getting that and promptly return it. No way. 20 bucks, yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I wasted 20 bucks, honestly, because I wouldn't use it. With that iPhone 4S, if I was going to mount that on there, I couldn't trust this thing because of its floppy nature. And having a phone that's got glass front and back doesn't seem like a good idea. I wouldn't put any pressure on the blades. Nothing really. So there you go. That's pretty well the Gerber Unsteady. I'm not going to recommend that one. It's a good idea. Gerber, good job for thinking that up. Make one out of metal. Then you'll have it. Make it stable out of metal. And that'll be good. That'll be good. So that, 20 bucks, 50 bucks. No, thank you. Not at all. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming hanging out and listening to that. About half rant. It was good. Maybe you'll hear another rant here up in the future soon. That'd be cool. Until then, you guys try to stay cool. It's hot out here. Take it easy, guys. It is hot. It's muy caliente. Zoom in just a wee bit. There it is. There. Right there. Okay, cool. Wow. Oh yeah, we're zoomed. That's why. Oh, other way. Man.